So at this time of year, it's really important that we think about our horse and pony's weight, and we have to think of ways that we can make sure that they don't gain excessive weight. The reason why horses and ponies who are out at grass gain weight at this time of year is because sugar levels within the grass will rise. The grass makes that sugar during sunlight hours, so actually the time that has the lowest level of grass is overnight. So one way to reduce how much sugar your horse is eating is to turn it out at night time rather than daytime. We do have to be careful when there's frost early in the morning, and the reason for that is one of the processes that uses up the sugar is the grass growing. And when the temperature is low, the grass stops growing, but yet if it's bright and sunny, it will still be accumulating sugar. So if you're going to change to that out at night and in the daytime pattern, you do need to make sure that you're up early enough to get the horse in to avoid the bright frosty mornings that we may have at this time of year. There are other ways of restricting access to pasture by using either strip grazing or grazing muzzles, and many owners use these very successfully. I think the particular problem at this time is that if your horse or pony is not used to strip grazing or a grazing muzzle, then it might not be prudent to introduce a completely different management change when you perhaps can't go and visit your horse quite as often as you are used to. There are a couple of ways around this. I'm sure that many individuals who keep their horse at liveries have already formed rotas so that different people are examining the horses at different times of day, but technology can help us with this too. There actually are quite a few different horse tracking systems that people may not yet be aware of. So I had a look on Google, and actually the easiest way to find them is if you type in 8 of the best smart horse tracking technologies, you'll find a list of the big players in this field. The ones towards the top of the list actually probably are arguably a little bit too complex, and they're more focused on horse exercise. But if you scroll down that site, you'll find some technologies which allow people to, the horse wears a monitor and you can log in online and watch its activity within the pasture, see if it's moving around, see how often it goes to the water trough, these kind of things. So that's a nice way that people can actually have a handle on what their horse is doing when they may not be able to spend time at the farm in the way that we would all like to. So when we're trying to make sure that our horse doesn't gain excessive weight, there's really 2 things. Clearly, limiting how much food it's eating is an important element, but it's actually extremely difficult to control weight just through diet alone. And I can't emphasize enough really how exercise can help control weight and has a remarkably beneficial level on insulin function. Lots of horse and pony owners will be aware that insulin dysregulation is an important component of obesity and also predisposes horses to laminitis. So doing what we can to modulate insulin function is really important. It's actually been shown in experimental studies that exercising your horse just at the walk and trot for, I think it was 15 minutes a day, has a positive impact. So when you can't perhaps ride your horse just as much as you would like to, the one thing that you probably should try to make part of every day is a period of exercise. Even if you don't take the horse out of its paddock, either leading it in hand or preferably just lunging it a little bit so that it gets a little bit of trot for 10 to 15 minutes will really help to control the weight.